Today we have one of my favorite songs from the 2000s, Somewhere Only We Know by Keane. I'm going to show you a few approaches to playing the tune. Conventional chords. Or how about power chords? Or how about put down the pick, finger pick it. Sounds good, right? Okay, all that coming your way right now. So let's start with the intro and the verse. They're identical, except the verse is where all the words are, so let's start right there. Capo at the 2nd fret. So you'll be in the same key as the original recording. I'm going to show you a few different approaches, both with the right hand and with the left hand, but let's start with a nice conventional approach. Open position chords, regular chords over here with your fretting hand, and 8 downstrokes per chord with your strumming hand. With the words, it's going to sound like this. I walked across an empty land. I knew the pathway like the back of my hand. I felt the earth beneath my feet. Sat by the river and it made me complete. Couple of quick tips. Hold the pick very lightly. Okay, another tip. Don't feel you have to strum the maximum number of strings. For instance, on the G major, just because you're allowed to strum 6 strings doesn't mean you have to strum all 6. Think light and smooth. One more tip. After 7 downstrokes, you may have noticed there are times when I abandoned the chord and started transitioning to the next chord so I wouldn't have any hesitation in getting there. It's crucial, okay? It's okay if your 8th stroke is on open strings. 5, 6, 7, 8. It's far more important to nail the next chord in the sequence than to deliver one more strum on the chord that preceded it, okay? The open strings, not only is it legal to hit open strings on the way to the next chord, but people do it all the time. It's almost mandatory. If you don't have to do that little cheat, that's fine, but people do it all the time. Okay, next approach. Still 8 down strums per chord, but we're going to do power chords. We're going to substitute power chords rather than the majors and the minors. Power chords are neither major nor minor, but they can substitute for majors and minors and 7th chords and you name it. So here's how it would sound with power chords. 2, 3, 4. Walked across an empty land. I knew the pathway like the back of my hand. A G power chord, 2 fingers on the 2 bass strings. A B power chord. An A power chord is only 1 finger, and a D power chord is only 1 finger. It doesn't get any easier than that. Power chords sound great. They fit this song. If you're playing with somebody and they're already doing the jangly conventional open position chords, do the power chords instead. Okay, now one more approach I think you're really going to like. This is not what's happening in the song, but it fits the song so nicely. If I were going to perform this song as a solo guitar player, singer, or if I was backing up a singer, I very well might play this finger picking pattern. Check this out. I walked across. I knew the pathway like the back of my hand. I felt the earth beneath my feet. Sat by the river and it made me complete. Okay, so what am I doing over here? It's a thumb, index, pinch, index. Okay? It's going to vary a tiny bit from chord to chord. I'll walk you through it. G. Thumb on 6, index on 3. Thumb on 4, middle on 2. That's middle finger, doing a pinch. And the index on 3 again. So we have, in slow motion, thumb, index, pinch, index. Notice the thumb is alternating between 6 and 4. That's significant. We're going to get back to that. We're going to refer to that in the other chords coming up. 6, 3, pinch, 3. It's a great finger picking pattern. I wish I could take credit for it, but it's a great finger picking pattern that works for lots of songs. B minor. Check out this B minor that I'm doing here. My index finger is arching over. It's not a bar chord. Index finger is arching over to the 5th string, 2nd fret. Okay? Now I have, just like in the very beginning of the video, I still have my middle finger, 2nd string, 3rd fret, pinky, 3rd string, 4th fret, ring finger, 4th string, 4th fret, but that's the note B. What a strong sound, right? Okay, almost the identical pattern to the one I just showed you, but the thumb on 5 to begin with. 5, 3 with the index. Here's that pinch on 4 and 2, and then the thumb on the index finger on the 3rd string. Thumb, index, pinch, index. And when I say pinch, remember that's thumb on the 4th string, middle finger on the 2nd string at the same time. So far we have G, B minor, the exact same finger picking pattern for the A minor, and the D. Watch, I'm going to shift my right hand over a little bit. Thumb on 4, index on 2, pinch on 3 and 1, index on 2 again. Okay, just a nice approach to this tune. All right, let's move on to the chorus now. Before we get into the chorus, I want to say thanks for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out my website down there for lots of videos you cannot find on YouTube. And if you enjoyed this video, you're going to want to see all the videos on the playlist called 365 Riffs for Beginning Guitar. Hundreds and hundreds of videos. I've been doing one per day since January 1st, 2017. Okay, now let's get into the chorus. No big surprises. Of course, we still have the capo at the 2nd fret. We're going to start with 8 downstrokes on regular open position chords, and I'll show you some other approaches too, reflecting the approaches I showed you during the verse. Check this out. Simple thing, have it gone. I'm getting old, I need something to rely on. So tell me when. Let me in. I'm getting tired, I need somewhere to begin. Easy, right? Okay, so 8 downstrokes per chord, no big deal. If we did the power chords, also sounds great. Really nothing too new here except the E power chord rather than the E minor chord. C is new for us. Other than that, no big deal. Okay, so here it comes. It sounds like this, 8 strokes per chord. Oh, simple thing, have you done? Notice my pointer finger was already in the right place. Here it was for E minor, and then I add on my ring finger, I drop my pick down 1 string, but there it is on the B power chord, 8 strokes. Have you gone? Just glide up 1 fret for the C. Getting old and I need. Now for D, we could either go back to that 1 finger D power chord, which I'll show you in a second, or you could glide up 2 frets for the D power chord in what they would call a closed position. Something to rely on. Does that make sense? A C power chord up 2 frets becomes a D power chord, right? Or C for 8 strokes and then the 1 finger D power chord. Really doesn't matter. Either way is okay. See whichever one is simpler for you. Finally, that 3rd approach, the finger picking approach, right? Same exact pattern that we did before, different chords. Oh, simple thing, where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. Now I'll show you a little trick. The E minor, 6 with your thumb, index on 3, pinch, thumb on 4, middle on 2, index on 3, once, twice. Here's that B minor just like before. Here's the C, same picking as for the B minor, meaning thumb on the 5th string first. And I'm going to do the exact same picking on the D, even though it means I'm not giving the listener that F sharp on the skinny string, but you know what? It still sounds good, you know? So we don't have to drop the right hand down for that D. I did it during the verse just because it's an approach. Nothing wrong with it. It gets all the notes of a D major chord, but sometimes it's so convenient, say if you're on the C chord anyways, to keep the right hand plucking the same combination of strings for the D chord, that's all. So in this instance, I'm doing thumb on 5, index on 3, thumb on 4, middle on 2, there's my pinch, and my index on 3. That's all. Alright, either approach works, you can decide for yourself. This way is kind of easier, and yeah, it's cheating a little bit, but it sounds great. Okay, lastly, the bridge, and we're almost there. The bridge is not difficult, but the bridge varies a little bit depending on whether we're talking about the first bridge or the second bridge. No big deal, and then I'll show you the outro too, which is even easier. Here it comes. So the bridge section is pretty straightforward. One new piece of information: occasionally we'll only play a chord for 4 downstrokes instead of for 8. Up until now, every chord has been 8 downstrokes. You can see on the screen there the B minor to D, that's only going to be 4 downstrokes in each, and the D to G, only 4 each. So let's tackle this bridge here. This is at the approximate 1 minute 53 second point, and it's right on the words, and if you have a minute. So let's check it out. 2, 3, 4. And if you have a minute, talk about it somewhere. This could be the end of everything, so why don't we go somewhere only we know? There's the bridge. There's a little interlude that pops in just one time. 8 C's, 8 D's, and you're back to the familiar 8 A minors, and 4 B minors, 4 D's. So there's bridge number 1. Then it comes a chorus, then comes bridge number 2. Now, bridge number 2 at the approximate 2 minute 50 second mark, 250, to my ear, it's not quite the same as the bridge I just showed you, okay? A minor for 8 counts, 8 strums, and then B minor for 4, D for 4, and that thing happens 4 times. I could be wrong. There's always a possibility. There's layers of guitars, there's some nice piano in here. I totally might be wrong, but I think it's what you see on the screen there in front of you. A minor for 8 counts, B minor, D, and that whole thing happens 4 times, and then the whole thing begins again, what I'm calling the third bridge, at the 3 minute 13 second mark, exactly the same as the first bridge. Okay? Are you with me so far? And then we come to the outro. And these are chords, you're going to let these chords just ring. Okay? No fancy strumming. You got, so why don't we go somewhere only we know? A minor. Just let it ring, and then D. So why don't we go somewhere only we know? And there's the C, and then finally it resolves in the G. We're in the key of G. Well, technically, with a capo on, we're not in the key of G. We're a whole step up from the key of G. We're in the key of A, but you get what I mean. For our purposes, G is the 1 chord. Okay, that does it. That is the entire tune. I love this song, Somewhere Only We Know, from 2004. In that ballpark, the band called Keane. Hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. I'm sure you did. If you made it this far in the video, I'm sure you enjoyed the video. Quickly, I'm not going to illustrate the bridge with the power chords or with the finger picking, because I think you get the gist of that by now, but you could certainly approach it that way. All right, everybody, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out my website. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow for another riff of the day.